everyone, welcome to Health 280 Global Health. I am Lauren Noble. You should see if you go in here, Global Health should be the very first thing you see at the top when you go into the announcements page. Today we're going to be going over week 1 as this is the very first start of our semester. So in here you'll see that I have everything broken down into what you need to do for the week and about how long it should take you. Obviously this is going to vary depending on, how much time you spend and how much time it takes you, but roughly, for a 3-credit class you can expect to take anywhere between 3 and 9 hours outside of class time. Since we are not meeting in person ever, this is completely online. Each week will vary between 3 to 9 hours of work. Some weeks are definitely longer than others, but just know that it does balance out. So in here you can see that we are going to be beginning with the chapter 1. We'll be reading the entire book this semester. So I have included for the first couple weeks book scans, just because I know that it can take some time when you're ordering your books. So we're in the Global Health text, and chapter 1 is Global Health Transitions. So it's not as clear as reading it in person, but obviously this is a scan. So you'll go through, read everything, and then you have a chapter 1 quiz. And so you'll have a quiz after each reading. And this is pass-fail, so you can take it as many times as you need to achieve better than an 80%. Then we move into really, in global health, we want to look and see what nations are doing and compare it to what we're doing. The big project for this class is COVID related, but for right now, we're just going to look at what's called the Social Progress Index. So for the very first step, I want you to go to this TED Talk that's right here to really learn what that SPI is, or Social Progress Index, is about, and how a country calculates that. So you'll want to watch that first, and then you'll go to this hyperlink, and this is where we'll actually see what social progress indexes are for each country. So what I want you to do is choose a country on this map. You cannot choose the United States, and they have to have a scorecard. There has to be data. So places like North Korea will not have data, so you cannot choose that one. So let's choose Brazil. So you'll go, and what you want to do is click on the See Scorecard. This is going to give you absolutely all of the information on how this country is scored on the various indexes. So basic human needs, foundations of well-being, and so on. So you'll get more information as you listen to the TED Talk, but then you'll also, you can hover over and it'll tell you, per the population, and it'll show you the percentage and the score. So what you'll be doing is you'll go through, you'll choose a country, you'll click on the scorecard, and what you need to do is come into this is a discussion board. So you need to come in here and create a thread with your country. So if I was going to say Brazil, I would come in here and type my subject is Brazil. If I can spell it correctly, wow, Brazil. So this would be the country that I've chosen. You'd click submit to claim that as your country. I'm going to cancel for right now. And so what you would be doing is, once you claim that country, then you can go in and complete the research, and then reply to that thread, and all of your information will be a reply to your title of the country that it is. You do want to make sure that once you've created a thread like Brazil, you want to go in and make sure that no one else has also claimed that. If someone has, then you will need to choose a different country. There are 149 countries that are on this index, and so obviously that's way more people than we have in the current class, so everyone should have a different topic. If you are creating a thread at this point 5, if you and a peer happen to create the same nation within seconds to a few minutes, then that's fine. You won't be docked any points. It's highly unlikely to happen, but if it does, then that's fine. But it is time stamped, so I'll know when that happens. Okay, so what you need to do is choose the top 3 best score areas and the top 3 worst score areas for your nation. And, this is somewhat subjective, as, maybe you see something as more important than someone else does, or, you get to be the judge as to what is most important. So on your own, you need to research the nation to find out why they are doing well or poorly. And you should have a basic explanation as to why they achieved the good or the bad scores. So in your discussion post, you'll need to name the country and the geographical area of the world your nation is located in. So Brazil would be South America. And that's 5 points. 10 points, you have to provide the following scores for your nation. So it's the Social Progress Index score and the ranking, and then the GDP, so gross domestic product per capita, and ranking. So the big part, is 60, is briefly outline the top 3 best and worst areas for your nation and why you think they have those scores. So this does not need to be a paragraph per each, but it's just really a few sentences. So it's an overview of why they have the, why those 3 are the best and why those 3 are the worst. And then in a paragraph, you need to explain how your nation compares to the US. Where are they the same, better, or worse, and why do you think these differences exist? So in this, it shows you can compare countries. So you would just add a country. You could search. So I would choose Brazil, and then we have the United States. So then, depending on which data set you're picking that has been, you've chosen maybe that they have the worst in personal safety. So you would have to show how this has changed over time, what the differences are, and what, how the United States is better and why you think that is. So then finally 20 points, and this is all or none. So if you don't do at least 3 replies to your peers, then you get 0 points. If you only do 2, you get 0 points, but if you have 3, you'll get the full 20. And they need to be meaningful posts. They ask a question or provoke some new thought. It's moving the conversation forward. It's not just, wow, that's great. I had no idea that was prevalent in that country. That will not count. So this is the very first assignment that you will have. So this nation research assignment. Okay. Then in this course, we also are going to touch on ethical approaches. This is an ethic designated course. So you'll have a survey that you'll have to do, and then finally you'll also have another discussion board. It is pretty discussion board heavy in the beginning, but it will not be that way the entire semester. We do not have very many. I believe there's only 4 or 5. So there's you have 2 this week, but it's not a reflection on how the entire semester is going to go. So you'll need to go in and take this ethical approach survey. So it should start downloading, and you will have to have Excel. So what you'll be doing is, if this will come up. Okay, so for some reason it populates with the results, and that's not where we want to go. So in here, you just it should take 5 minutes or less. You will read the following statement, and then on a scale of 0 to 6, you'll say whether you strongly disagree or all the way to strongly agree. And so you would just go through and put in your scores, however it is that it is relevant to you, and then at the end, you'll complete that whole thing, and then it will show you your results. So obviously I have not completed the full thing as I only entered in 3 scores, but it will show you what approach that you have that you're most aligned with based on your answers. So for me, yellow is 45%. So that's what I would, based on my 3 answers that I give, this one is the one that is most relevant for me. So what you need to do is choose your top 3. So we have, we'll go back to Blackboard. So in your discussion board, you need to create a discussion board post with the following information. So 20 points, what are your top 3 approach styles based on the percentages found? So you just need to give numbers. So 4, 2, and 1 might be mine or somebody else's. And then you need to write a reflection that really dives into what did you learn from the survey? Do you agree with them or not? And if there is a situation where 2 of your viewpoints conflict, how do you decide which of the viewpoints that you're going to follow? So that's your reflection. That's your main discussion board. And then finally, you have to provide feedback to at least 2 of your peers. And again, these need to be meaningful and thoughtful. It can't just be, wow, that sounds great, or I thought the same thing. That will not work. So that is what you have to do for this week. And then we will continue on next week.